In the humid forest corridors bordering the Cerrado, a non-reflective movement is occasionally observed. It is not a shadow, nor a distortion caused by low light. It is a jaguar with full black pigmentation, a rare natural variant known as a black jaguar, caused by melanism, the overproduction of melanin. Melanism does not create a new species, but rather a distinct morphological form. Beneath the thick black fur, under close view or angled light, the typical rosette patterns of the jaguar can still be seen, faint like water stains on dark fabric. In South America, melanism is most commonly found in Panthera onca, the jaguar, the largest carnivorous mammal on the continent and the apex predator in most tropical and subtropical ecosystems. Black jaguars do not behave significantly differently from typical jaguars. They hunt alone, move quietly, and are mainly active at dusk or during the night. However, in humid forests with deep shade, such as the transition zones between the Cerrado and the Atlantic forest or the fringes of the Amazon, the black coat may offer an evolutionary advantage. The non-reflective fur helps black jaguars remain concealed in environments with limited direct sunlight. Some studies suggest that black jaguars may have a competitive edge in dense, moist forests, where camouflage plays a critical role in hunting and survival. In the ecosystems along the Cerrado's edge, where burned grasslands meet transitional forest, black jaguars appear infrequently but are not absent. A few individuals have been documented through camera traps, especially in large reserves that maintain biological corridors linking the Cerrado to adjacent forest systems. The presence of black jaguars in these areas is a sign of intact ecological structure, indicating that the environment still provides enough moisture, shadow, and medium-sized prey populations to support this solitary predator. Unlike smaller felines such as ocelots or margais that are primarily arboreal, black jaguars typically move close to the ground, selecting routes with deep shade and downwind paths. They rarely leave distinct traces, and their tracks are difficult to distinguish from those of typical jaguars. Even claw marks, which only appear clearly in soft mud or wet sand, are not sufficient to confirm melanism. Therefore, most black jaguar records come from night camera images, showing glowing eyes in darkness and a body shape unlike any other species. Black jaguars maintain the full ecological role of an apex predator, regulating populations of medium-sized herbivores, such as capybaras, agoutis, armadillos, and small ungulates. The absence of black jaguars, or jaguars in general, often leads to trophic imbalance, with rodent species increasing beyond normal levels, contributing to the degradation of the understory and disrupting the natural cycle of forest regeneration. However, black jaguars are particularly vulnerable to habitat changes. Their population is already low, scattered, and dependent on dense canopy cover. When forests are fragmented by roads, agriculture, or fires occurring outside natural cycles, their survival and reproductive opportunities decline sharply. Some areas where black jaguars were once recorded now show no signs for many years. Loss of biological corridors not only cuts off access to habitat, but also disrupts the regeneration cycles that rely on apex predators. Protecting and restoring forest corridors linking the Cerrado to surrounding humid ecosystems is essential to maintain black jaguar populations in the wild. Their presence, silent, rarely seen, and almost impossible to capture on film, remains evidence of a functioning native ecosystem. Where there are still black jaguars, it means the forest still holds shade, the grasslands still follow seasonal cycles, and the food web remains intact. In late afternoons at the edge of a forest not yet cut through, a non-reflective silhouette may have passed through the last rays of light. No one saw it. No camera recorded it. Only the underlying rhythm of young grass, deep roots, and humid soil still holds the faint tracks of a hunter that leaves no need to be seen. A thin layer of ash drifts across the burned grassland. Wind passes through dry andropogon clumps, lifting trails of dust into the air. Slanting sunlight cuts across a cracked earth, exposing old roots embedded in stone. The Cerrado stretches across an ancient plateau. Its acidic red soil holds moisture below, while the surface remains parched. Plants do not crowd this land. Trees are sparse, short, thick-stemmed, and covered in rough bark. Each trunk extends deep into the ground, searching for water beneath layers of ancient rock. A flock of ground sparrows veers toward a raised mound. The Cerrado does not survive by avoiding fire. It regenerates through fire. Flames move slowly through the grasses, burning dry leaves but leaving trunks standing. After fire comes new soil. After ash, new shoots rise. A line of leafcutter ants marches into the dark grass. Above, a white-necked kite glides through waves of hot air. Here, dry season and wet season form an ecological rhythm. Drought keeps the soil porous, rain restores the flow. Each drop seeps into rock layers, collects underground, and feeds hundreds of hidden streams. The Cerrado is the underground heart of South America. It supplies water to the Amazon, to the Paraná, and to the San Francisco. Beneath the cracked ground lies a network of roots and an invisible current moving upward. An armadillo digs a burrow beneath a thorny bush. On the horizon, scorched grasses flicker in the last light. A silhouette moves across the gray land. Tall frame, erect fur, long neck, measured steps. A maned wolf crosses the seared grass. Each step presses into the still warm earth, leaving prints in the red dust. Behind it, a light breeze rises, carrying the final breath of a dry day. A tall shadow moves across the burned plain. Long legs step evenly. The body passes low shrubs. Ears stand upright, shifting slightly toward sounds from all sides. Wind sweeps over bare soil. Layers of ash lift and fall again. The maned wolf walks slowly through the gray grass without changing direction. Late day light clings to its dark upper back. It stops beside a low mound. One ear tilts. The head turns toward a sound near the bush's base. Its front leg lifts gently, then lowers without disturbing the grass. A short lunge. Its body flattens close to the ground. The grass shakes once, then falls still. A small prey disappears between its jaws. The man-wolf swallows quickly and moves away from the ambush site. Its shadow enters a lower stretch near the sparse woodland edge. The body is tall and slender, adapted to open terrain. Long legs allow it to move through tangled grass. Its fur is dense and reddish, paler toward the limbs. A black stripe stands along the spine, aligned with the vertebral axis. During the dry season, the Cerrado becomes a sequence of burned grasslands and thorny shrubs. Heat cracks the ground, exposing scorched root clusters. Some shrubs bloom again after fire. Beneath low canopies, soft-stemmed plants begin to grow back. At the Cerrado's edge, human threats appear through tire tracks, fences, and traces of chemicals. The maned wolf retreats from these areas, moving into zones with fewer disturbances. Fragmented habitats disrupt pair formation. Offspring rates decline where ecological pressure is high. Still, regrowing grasslands form corridors that reconnect open forest patches. The maned wolf uses these paths for hunting, resting, and dispersing seeds. It holds no fixed territory, shifting based on fruiting cycles and grass recovery. A gust sweeps across the plain, lifting dust from the soil. The maned wolf turns toward dimmer light. Tree canopies interlock. A final beam rests on its moving back. In the distance, a bush closes behind its last step. Its silhouette recedes into the burnt earth. Only the grass remains, gently shifting in the wind, and the fresh imprint in settling dust. A shadow moves along the edge of a dry stream bed. The body presses close to the ground, moving without sound. The eyes stay low, fixed on the terrain ahead. A jaguar advances slowly along the stream's border. Its dark yellow fur reflects distinct rosettes under scattered light. The ears flatten, the shoulders lower. The tail sweeps across the fine sand. Some shallow pools remain, surrounded by moss and old hoof prints. Below a crumbling bank, small frogs retreat into layers of decaying leaves. The jaguar turns from the stream edge and circles around a wide rock. Its paw prints press clearly into the cracked earth. It stops. The head tilts slightly. The nose drops to a faint scent trail. A slight movement in the distant grass shifts the entire body into tension. It lowers its frame with each step across the moss. Each foot lifts without touching dry branches. Its form shortens behind dense shrubs beneath a canopy. Ahead, a capybara crosses a shallow depression. The jaguar lowers its head. The body launches from the shadow of the tree. The movement is fast, direct, and forceful. Its front legs fold inward, driving the full body into the prey. The jaws open wide. The teeth pierce through the skull. And drags the carcass toward the canopy. The body slides across soft grass, leaving a short trail. Beneath the bush, it begins to feed. There is no need to hide. No need to share. The jaguar's body is heavy, with dense muscles and a wide skull. Its bite force can crush the skulls of many herbivore species. Its legs are short but strong, with curved claws sheathed in muscle. The spotted coat provides camouflage in forest light and shadow. Southern Cerrado shifts gradually into gallery forest along stream banks. This area holds exposed rocks, low trees, and patches of bare soil between root clusters. The jaguar chooses travel routes along dry streams, where animal scent is concentrated. They do not hunt in groups. Each forest area shows signs of only one individual. When prey is caught, they consume it at the site, leaving blood traces, bone fragments, and fresh claw marks. The jaguar regulates populations of medium-sized herbivores. An orange beak appears among the dry canopy. A toucan tilts its head and pushes its long beak into a cluster of fruit. Its neck stretches. The beak grips a ripe fruit and tilts backward. The fruit drops directly into its throat. The chest remains still. Its feet grip the cracked bark of a dead branch. The tail maintains balance against the wind. The toucan moves along the trunk. Its beak reaches for another nearby fruit. The pulp splits as it presses between both edges of the bill. It swallows, then turns. Wings spread to glide to the next canopy. The adjacent branch is lower, with a hollow opening near its base. The bird descends slightly and lands at the edge of the cavity. Another individual exits the hollow and changes position. Both take turns guarding the nest as the sun moves across the tree shadows. During chick rearing, they stay near the nest, selecting ripe fruit scattered across the canopy. Short consecutive flights form a foraging area centered around the cavity. Droppings containing seeds fall along these flight paths. Seeds reach the ground, rest in ash, and germinate with the first seasonal rain. New shrubs grow from seeds dispersed outward from the nest. They sprout in light gaps, far from the parent tree, creating even cover among low canopies. After fire, these shrubs regrow quickly in areas once visited by toucans. The seed dispersal role becomes clear in the vegetation recovery cycle. The dry forest of the Cerrado lacks a dense upper canopy. Its tree crowns spread more horizontally than vertically. Toucans use the open space to move between dead trunks. They fly along the mid-canopy, gliding close to branches, and land on exposed wood. Their bodies are compact, and their long beaks reach fruit deep inside thick foliage. Their feathers are matte, reducing glare and aiding concealment in dappled light. Each movement, gripping, flapping, or turning, is small in range. All actions are optimized for low tree, open canopy terrain. Toucans track fruit by season. In areas with many standing dead trees, nests are scattered across hillsides. Some pairs live near each other but maintain separate flight zones. This pattern creates a system of random, continuous seed dispersal. The density of plant regrowth along flight paths reflects toucan foraging activity. In the Cerrado ecosystem, toucans occupy the middle canopy. They act as both seed dispersers and as part of the food web. Owls, tree snakes, and egg-eating mammals reach the nest by seasonal pattern. Where toucans exist, so do prey and predators from upper levels. Loss of large trees from logging reduces natural nesting cavities. They adjust flight routes to find areas with more stable fruit supplies. High above, late sunlight shines across the face of a charred branch. One bird stands still, its head tilted toward a ripening fruit cluster. Its orange beak reflects light wood. Wings extend. Feet release the decayed bark. The body glides to the wind. A bright streak from its beak cuts across the red sky, then disappears beyond. A large body moves swiftly through an open patch of grassland. Its legs push loose soil backward with each step. Every stride leaves deep marks on grass recently scorched and cooled. The greater rhea charges forward with its head down. Wings spread sideways, flapping lightly for balance. Dry dust trails behind, forming a faint streak. Its body vibrates evenly with rapid steps. The open plain stretches toward the horizon. Scorched grass still shows blackened bases. Small patches of green emerge after the first rain. Wind carries the scent of ash close to the ground. The rhea stops in a shallow area where the grass grows taller. It raises its head and scans the sunlit surroundings. Another small group spreads nearby, keeping a steady distance. Feathers cover the neck and torso. The back appears darker, while the neck and legs are paler. Its short wings do not enable flight, but flap consistently when turning. Eyes are positioned on the sides of the head, always alert to sudden movement in the grass. A male moves slowly toward the edge of a moist area. It lowers its body, searching for a path into the thick vegetation. Within the grass lies a shallow nest, lined with dry stems and compacted soil. Inside the nest, eggs are visible under angled sunlight, filtering through distant trees. The male is responsible for incubation. It stands motionless for hours in the open, never leaving the position. As the sun shifts, it turns slightly to adjust the shadow line. Every motion serves to maintain a stable temperature for the clutch. A group of chicks leaves the nest after the incubation cycle. They follow the male into newly opened grassland. The tall grass reaches their chests, and their footsteps rustle through dry bases. The group changes direction frequently, searching for shade and ground insects. While moving, they feed on a variety of items. They consume fallen seeds, soft fruits, larvae, and small invertebrates. During the rainy season, plant matter increases. During the dry season, insects dominate. Their diet shifts with weather and habitat cycles. Burned grasslands become prime foraging zones. Ash promotes rapid plant growth, attracting diverse insect life. Greater rheas move between these zones as vegetation regenerates. They help clear old grass and spread seeds from partially eaten fruits. Undigested seeds fall with their droppings, scattered across the plain. Areas once occupied by large flocks recover vegetation faster. They not only disperse seeds, but also regulate grass density by trampling, feeding, and clearing dry layers. Continuous movement forms dynamic biological links between open areas. In the food web, the rhea serves as intermediate prey. They fall within hunting range of jaguars, pumas, and large raptors. Young individuals are more vulnerable when separated from the group. Each movement carries risk, forcing the group to maintain constant vigilance. Greater rheas rely on speed rather than confrontation. They run straight toward open ground, using clear sight lines to lead the group away from danger. Long runs flatten grass and leave faint dust trails. In areas with hunting activity, groups scatter and become sparse. Some individuals live alone, without roles in reproduction or chick protection. Loss of incubating males results in more abandoned eggs. Dense vegetation on habitat edges reduces escape routes when chased. Open fields are fragmented by trails and fences. This fragmentation slows seasonal migration, allowing old grass to dominate unmanaged zones. Greater rheas respond by retreating to wide open spaces near previous burn sites. They use these cleared areas to build nests and raise offspring. This resettlement helps maintain the cycle of seed dispersal and grass regulation. When the rains return, smaller groups converge near water sources. New grass grows in clumps, bringing in insects and small rodents from the lower layer. Rheas take advantage of this period to gain body mass and prepare for the next breeding season. On the ground, footprints remain visible in the undisturbed dust. Grass bends in the wind, creating subtle motion across the plain. One body bursts across the frame, wings flapping lightly. A soft scraping sound rises as its body brushes the grass. Angled sunlight cuts through the thin dust still hanging in the air. The open field stretches ahead without obstruction. Within it, each stride continues the rhythm etched into the moving layer of newly revived fire-touched grass. A large body wades through a shallow stream. Water reaches its belly, splashing sideways in short bursts. Vapor rises from its back, blending with mist near the surface. The tapir steps slowly, pressing each foot into the soft mud. The water opens along the body, then closes behind the tail. Aquatic grass flattens with each step. The sound of water hitting the body repeats in steady rhythm. The stream cuts across a depression between two forest edges. On hot nights, it submerges in mud along the stream's edge. Its front legs fold and the body sinks to the belly. A thin film of water rests on its back, reflecting faint light. Only the snout remains above water, moving gently with each breath. At dawn, it retreats from low ground and moves into denser forest. Its body passes through narrow gaps between tree trunks without stopping. Each step leaves hoofprints deep in wet soil. Broken branches fall, blending into the rustling canopy overhead. During the rearing season, the female stays close to her calf. The young one walks behind, following the exact route. They rest near exposed roots crossing the ground, close to escape paths leading to water. They only move when light is low and temperatures drop. While feeding, they move slowly through low vegetation, leaving broken branches and seed-filled dung. Each dung cluster holds seeds from many forest species. Seeds are dropped in open areas where light reaches the understory. Seedlings grow from spots where tapirs once paused. Tapirs serve as seed dispersers for the lower and middle forest layers. They carry seeds beyond parent canopies into less vegetated zones. This promotes natural recovery along forest edges. The structure of the forest layers becomes more stable, preserving moisture and sustaining groundwater flow. Tapirs move along corridors beside streams and humid forest gaps. They pass through intersections between open grass, sloped terrain, in decomposing leaf zones. In fragmented forest zones, tapir movement routes are disrupted. Water sources become disconnected from closed forest areas. Tapirs must travel farther, crossing open grasslands with increased exposure. Many individuals enter agricultural zones or areas marked by human activity. Night hunting affects mature individuals. A decline in adult tapirs leads to reduced dispersal of large seeds. Some tree species disappear in areas where seed dispersal depends on tapir digestion. A group of capybaras stands along a shallow bank. Their eyes face the reed-covered water. Their ears rotate slowly with shifting wind. Their bodies press close to the muddy edge, holding the feeding line. Aquatic grass flattens beneath the weight of their bodies. Soft mud spreads behind each sliding step. The water expands sideways along the group's width. The moving bodies follow one another, staying aligned with the shore. Water rises along their backs, then lowers gradually. Bubbles form between partially submerged bodies. No sound rises above the light break of surface ripples. The shallow wetland lies between the low grassland and the reed edge. Short grass covers the banks, mixed with patches of decayed soil. A groundwater flow runs just beneath the surface, maintaining moisture with the wind. Tree shadows stretch across their floating backs. Capybaras soak within intermittent sunlight. Their backs stay partly above water. Their snouts hover just above the surface. The group faces one direction, maintaining fixed positions. Water parts with their breathing. Bubbles drift along the slide path. As light softens, the group climbs to the damp shoreline. Their bodies press the grass down, forming narrow paths beside the water. The soil reveals mud streaks and deep footprints. No individual strays from the feeding line. Capybaras feed along the sliding path. Grass tilts as it is pulled, with roots gripping the soil. Each movement presses grass aside, then allows it to return upright. The feeding trail keeps uniform height, with no visible breaks. Juveniles follow from the center of the group. Grass nearly covers their lower bodies. No turn deviates from the main trail. Small prints overlap older tracks. The group spreads evenly along the water's edge. Some individuals submerge halfway under bending reeds. The water surface stays flat, disturbed only when a body shifts sideways. No wave crosses beyond the shadowed zone. Their body structure is adapted to swamp terrain. Their feet are broad, their nails straight, and their bodies low and elongated. Their necks remain level, and their heads stay aligned with forward motion. Their coarse fur blends into the wetland background. They maintain consistent grass height along the waterline. The feeding paths keep vegetation below the reach of taller shrubs. Their movement creates corridors for ground-level species. No grass patch grows taller than the maintained level. Predators track the herd's motion from upper layers. Caimans lie in wait near the water's edge. Anacondas follow through the muddy roots. Sudden splashes occur during underwater ambushes. Capybaras do not defend fixed territory. They move toward areas where grass regrows. Their dung lines the feeding paths, preserving enough shade for seeds to sprout. Young grass appears at sites where the herd has rested. In unfragmented areas, movement paths remain stable across seasons. The feeding, resting, sliding structure follows a fixed order. Body marks reappear on moist mud. No dead zone forms between pasture and water. When water recedes, the group retreats to moisture-retaining lowlands. They shift toward old swamp trails. Their large bodies leave narrow, stretched tracks through uneven grass. Surrounding grass flattens and does not recover upright. Wind carries the scent of soil along the grass surface. Their silhouettes return to the shaded canopy with water still present. Slide paths become visible behind the moving forms. The reeds sway briefly, then stand still. In areas cut by drainage channels, the sliding paths are interrupted. Feeding routes no longer connect with former water zones. Grass dies off along the edges. Mud loses its protective dung layer. The group shifts direction earlier. New trails are shorter, staying close to the waterline. The muddy surface fails to retain consistent dung marking. Surrounding vegetation thins along the retreat lines. Bank structures become distorted. Reflections are broken by reed-directed water lines. Reeds near the edge no longer stay upright. The wetland loses depth along shortened, sliding paths. Large bodies press tight against displaced grass edges. A scorched termite mound stands in sparse grass. Sand mixed with ash surrounds its open entrance. A long-bodied figure approaches close to the ground. Its snout lowers toward a surface crack. Its tongue extends and retracts in steady rhythm. Each motion pulls loose fragments from the mound. The front limbs touch the ground, claws angled slightly outward. Its back arches. Its tail spreads wide, covering part of its body. Under muted light, black and white markings show on coarse fur. The tongue probes deep into the burned crevices, pulling out crushed insects. Moments later, the body shifts toward another mound. Its belly drops into leaf litter. The tongue continues its cyclical motion. The snout stays close to the soil surface. Front claws rub the edge of the old mound. The structure collapses gradually under pressing weight. Dry sand slides along the mound's edge. Farther away, low shrubs surround bare-branched trees. Ash from a past fire remains scattered on the ground. New grass emerges through the scorched soil. The giant anteater moves along a familiar trail. Each step leaves a faint print in crumbled ash. Its tail brushes across a half-burnt bush. Its tongue extends again, searching inside a rotted log. An exposed ant nest lies between layers of gray wood. The front limb presses down as the body stabilizes. The tongue searches along narrow cracks. In the low grass, small insects hide beneath decomposing leaves. Insects retreat as shadow covers the nest. The anteater does not change direction. Its tongue continues to retract rhythmically. With each withdrawal, dust loosens and shifts forward. Its belly stays low while the hind limbs fold securely. The movement is slow, steady, and aligned. The body is adapted to rough terrain and high surface temperatures. Beneath a hollow charred tree, a new clearing opens. The anteater moves toward the shaded trunk. Its head drops forward. Its tongue sweeps across a moss-covered bark. With each probe, the snout traces along the wood grain. Front claws hook lightly under the bark surface. Loose bark peels away from the dry base. An insect cluster breaks open, revealing soft abdomens. The tongue reaches in and draws upward through the exposed cavity. Bits of soil scatter with each tongue stroke. At the edge of the grassland, a dry termite mound rises. The anteater approaches from a curved path. Claws grip onto the stone base. Its body tilts as it crosses a surface crack. The tongue pauses for a few beats. After a wind gust, the tongue extends again. A stream of insects escapes from the broken mound. A front limb blocks their path. The tongue sweeps them into the mouth. A short breath escapes. Dust lifts in front of the snout. Strips of ash roll down low grass walls. Under the afternoon shadow, the anteater's silhouette stretches along the ground. Its body maintains speed across the open patch. Claws do not scrape. They slide evenly over coarse soil. The tongue repeats its previous rhythm. No turns, no hesitation. It steps across scorched grass. Dust swirls behind each leg. The dark, rough skin stands out in late light. At the grassland edge, a smaller form clings to its back. The shadow merges within the longer fur. Both bodies move with equal pace and direction. Each stride of the adult propels the young one forward. The tail covers the rear torso. The tongue continues to search ahead. Another mound becomes the next target. Front claws grip the mound's rim. Rear limbs brace the body. The nest breaks open as the surface gives way to claw pressure. In the distance, the plain reflects the day's last light. A bare patch turns the color of pale ash. The anteater does not change direction as its shadow grows long. Dry grass snaps under its heavy steps. Dust trails spiral upward in the wind. Insects scatter from freshly opened soil cracks. The tongue keeps working without pause. The giant anteater's roll spans across dry grass layers. Each broken mound clears space for seeds to germinate. Its presence helps suppress army ant outbreaks. A stable population supports ground-level ecological balance. They regulate insect layers beneath root systems. Areas with their activity show fewer signs of termite damage to roots. A pair of eyes lowers beneath gray canopy leaves. The gaze fixes on the ground covered in decomposing matter. The cat's body presses along the curve of a dead tree branch. Its form blends with moss and flaking bark. Its tail hangs down, draped across a broken limb. The air remains still beneath the dense forest layer. Dry leaves do not shift. Light remains constant. The soil below is blocked by dense, tangled roots. The margai holds its position in quiet shade. Its eyes do not move from the clearing between tree trunks. A rodent leaps across a damp rock. A light scratching sound passes along the roots. The margai shifts its weight onto its hind legs. Its eyes stay fixed on movement below. A front paw drags slightly across bark. Without sound, its back lowers even closer to the branch. As the prey crosses an open patch, the cat leaves cover. The branch trembles. Dead leaves fall with each gripping step. A short leap cuts across the gap. Leaf debris rises as both bodies hit the ground. Beneath a large tree, the margai stands on a thick bed of dry leaves. Its nose points toward a shallow path. Its ears rotate toward the sound of birds taking flight. An ocelot continues on its path without turning. A flock bursts from the ferns. A fallen tree blocks the way. A cougar steps up, using its hind limbs to lift smoothly. The body clears the branch without contact. Its shadow moves through patches of broken light above. Its tail balances while crossing uneven terrain. The eyes remain focused on the grass near the forest edge. A group of small birds scatters as the body moves past. The cougar does not change course. Its steps remain even, moving from moist to dry ground. In an opening beneath a scattered canopy, a feline stands motionless. A smaller form follows beside it. The juvenile's eyes do not leave the larger individual. They move toward a low patch of dense brush. The adult stops and shifts its head to scan the surroundings. The young one follows slowly behind. The adult leaps briefly through the low foliage. A collision with dry grass creates a short wave of disturbance. The juvenile stops at the edge, observing without looking away. The adult pulls an object from the brush into the open soil. Inside, a bird's wing droops as the body is dragged. The hind legs press down, lifting the load. The snout touches the ground, pushing the prey deeper into cover. The juvenile approaches slowly, maintaining distance. The adult does not lick. Its eyes stay fixed on the entrance. Both remain still. Neither makes a sound. A light breeze passes through, shifting dead leaves to one side. Forest cats help regulate the lower trophic layer. Their presence limits rodent and fledgling bird populations. They control competitive species along biological corridors. Their mostly nocturnal hunting behavior stabilizes food chains. Using vertical space within the forest improves energy use. They do not hunt in groups and avoid disturbing smaller populations. The canopy and shrub layer are their main activity zones. Most prey is taken by sudden, close-range motion. However, habitat change reduces available hunting grounds. Repeated fires sever forest corridors. Loss of canopy weakens the shaded understory. Food scarcity pushes cats toward human settlements. Hunting pressure increases near forest edges. Many individuals are displaced from breeding ranges. Habitat fragmentation reduces the advantages of climbing. Sections of dry forest become structurally unstable. A rotten branch falls across a bed of leaves. The impact echoes among faint bird calls. A feline pauses at the edge of a light patch. Its body fades into a shadowed canopy. Amber eyes appear briefly, then vanish between dry branches. Leaves rustle lightly. Sound drifts away. The forest falls silent, marked only by a shallow trail where the cat had passed. The Cerrado forms the foundation of a broader living system. It is a climatic buffer between dry and humid zones. It is a natural barrier bordering the Amazon basin. It stores groundwater that supports surrounding forest systems. However, human activity is breaking this structure apart. Off-cycle fires, dams, and hunting are fragmenting the ecological layers. Roots remain exposed after fires. Soil dries under concrete. Water tables drop behind retaining walls. Recovery slows with each artificial disruption. A bolt of lightning cuts through the clouded sky. Heavy rain begins to fall over the old ash. Deep underground, the muffled sound signals a new beginning. Wind fades. A thin mist rises from the aged grass. The living system waits for the next cycle of growth. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the wild Cerrado. If you love nature and want to keep discovering vivid stories from the wild, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming episodes. Goodbye for now, and we'll see you in the next exploration.